Hello, I'm going to do Haley's astrology, birth natal astrology chart. Okay, so we will begin with the midheaven in Scorpio. The midheaven in Scorpio says this is the career of Haley, and this says it is in Scorpio, so it says that she would be very good with life or death matters in a career. Anything that has to do with life or death matters. And so it would be like even a funeral director. But it could be, too, also a clairvoyant, a medium, a person who does psychic work, a person who does cards, reads cards, a person who does any kind of clairvoyant work, or anything related to life or death matters. Even a grief counselor. This she has her Mars and Scorpio in the 10th house as well, and the 10th house is the house of our public image. And so our public image, so she could come across as aggressive in her public image, but also Mars also gives us that fuel in our career to succeed too. So it could work both ways. It could say that in the public she could come across as aggressive, but she could also be exactly what somebody wants in a job, because a very determined person. And so she also has her sun in Scorpio in the 10th house of public image. And where the sun is, the sun always places a good vibe on the house where it is. So this means that she could definitely succeed in her career with the sun there. And right next to it, she has Venus in the 10th house, which is an auspicious placement. It's a lucky placement. It says that in her public image, in her career, to people in the public, she could come across as charming and just a very charming person. And, Venus usually says that a person in the 10th house, they usually have good looks, and they're just very charming in the 10th house, like actresses like Heather Locklear, or these beautiful actresses, they have Venus in the 10th house, and so they come across very charming to the public. And so this is in Scorpio as well. And so a Venus in Scorpio, so she could meet somebody too in her career, have like a love relationship formed out of her career. And so she has her Mercury in Scorpio, which is communication. And so that also says that she would be a good communicator in her career. And with Mercury in Scorpio, that means that she's pretty to the point in what she says. She doesn't mince words. She says it like it is. And I guess that could be beneficial in a career, and probably beneficial as like a boss or a leader, because you don't want to be doing that to a boss, but if you're a boss, it seems to be okay to get to the point and tell the truth. And so she has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and she has Jupiter in the 10th house as well. So Jupiter is the planet of luck. It promises us luck wherever we have it in our natal birth chart. So she has it in the 10th house, and the 10th house is the house of career. It's the house of public image. And so this says that she will have luck in her public image, that she could be just a successful person in the public. She may come across very different to other people maybe that she knows, but when it comes to the public, she actually has luck in the way she comes across to others. And with Venus there, she comes across as pretty charming. So she's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 planets in the 10th house. The 10th house of public image and career. And so when a stellium is considered 4 planets. And so she's got 6, and so that means that there'll be a lot of activity in the public image, and also in a career, a chosen career path. She may even have luck falling into a career path. And so she has her Pluto in the 12th house, and Pluto is in Sagittarius. So Pluto says, let's see, the 12th house is the house of when we're in our mother's womb. It's the house of prisons, mental institutions. It rules the ocean, the vast universe, karma, reincarnation. It's the most psychic house. And with Pluto there, Pluto says wherever it lands in our natal birth chart, we all have Pluto somewhere. It says that we will go through hell in this house, but we will eventually get to our heaven, but we will have to work really hard to do that. And it also says that it's worth it to us to work through these issues and get to our heaven. It promises we'll go through hell, but it also promises we will reach our heaven. So this also rules addictions. So with Pluto here, it says that when she was in her mother's womb, there might have been addictions going on. Also, just some, some kind of bad things happening while she was in her mother's womb. And in this house of just great sensitivity, you could say it affected probably her in her sensitivity. And so she's working through this. This is her karma. She's working through this. And she will be successful. She's got all these planets in the 10th house of the public. It seems that she's got a lot of helpers here, a lot of people coming her way to help her. And so she's got also her palace. And so her palace is wisdom. And her palace is also in the 12th house. So it says that, like in the Bible, it says we go through many tears to gain wisdom. So she would be a very wise person to counsel people who've been through this sensitivity of having a mom that could have been addicted, or just 12th house matters of just going through so much so early as a baby. And so she's gaining wisdom. She has a very strong old soul wisdom from these experiences, and she will see that when she gets older. And so her rising sign, how she comes across to the public, this is a first, you could say when you first meet somebody, the rising sign is how they see you. And so she's got a Capricorn. So Capricorn is very, they can come across as sort of cold and very aloof to people. And so she may come across like that. And so she keeps her cards close to herself when she first meets someone. And her East Point, that's another rising sign. It's a smaller one. It doesn't have as much strength as the main rising sign, but it says this rising sign is in Aquarius, which says that she's a very independent person, and she needs her freedom, and she's going to stretch out of her box and to gain her freedom. So this is a person who is a freedom-loving person, and so she needs her freedom, and a revolutionary, really. And so here she has Chiron, and Chiron is in the first house. So Chiron is the healer. So the healer comes in as like a guardian angel in our first house. So although she went through these things as a child, she had some help in her childhood. A guardian angel was watching over her and trying to help her to survive. And so this, as Chiron said, there was healing in her childhood. Somebody came along and tried to help her and said that she was important and she was valuable and she mattered. And so we have, we have Chiron, and then we have Ceres. And Ceres is the harvest. And so the harvest is in the first house. So it says that she may actually gain a harvest from her childhood, like from the experiences she's had. She will eventually gain a harvest from these experiences in her life. They will end up being very strong lessons for her, but it will be lessons that she will be able to, it will help her in her life. And so let's see, so then she has, she's got Uranus here. So she's got Uranus in the second house. And so Uranus in the second house is the house of finances. And so that is actually sort of could be like something explosive what happened with her finances. Um, and then she's got the North Node in the second house, which promises a destiny when it comes to finances. So it means that something may happen to push her into like a certain career or something. The North Node is our destiny, so she has a destiny in the second house of finances when it comes to Pisces matters. And her North Node is in Pisces, which is the healer. And so she does have healing abilities, and the second house also rules finances, and so she could have a very intuitive career when it comes to finances using her Pisces North Node. But the North Node is our destiny, and it's in the second house of finances, so she will succeed in this house. And so then, let's see, Neptune. I skipped over Neptune. Neptune is in the second house of finances too. So, I'm sorry, excuse me, Neptune is in the first house. So, Neptune is that planet where we can go into like a sort of a dream world and to survive things that we're going through. So, when she was a child, she might have slept a lot and, gone into like her dream world to overcome, things that she was going through. So she's had a very strong, you could say, fantasy life as a child to overcome things, to sort of give herself a break of things that she went through. And so this is a lucky placement, the North Node in the second house of finances. And the moon is in the third house. And so she's got a Scorpio sun and she's got a moon in Aries. This is an extremely powerful combination. So the moon in Aries, this is a huge amount of energy. So anybody who's really knows her will say, where this is so much energy, it would be hard for somebody, this is hard to contain this energy. This person would, like this Aquarius, she needs to be independent. This Aries is this is in the moon. This moon rules our mother sign, and it shows that the woman on the maternal side could have had a temper. They could have a temper, but they also are leaders. The females are leaders in this house, the third house, and they're good communicators, and they communicate straight to the point. Could it be assertively, could be aggressively, but with her moon in Aries and her sun in Scorpio, she's giving that Scorpio a lot of power, and she's going in for the kill, basically. She's not one to mince words, and she says it like it is, and she's impulsive in what she says, but she's also a leader, like these women are. She's also a leader, and but this is a powerhouse. The sun, if she can focus this energy like in these career matters, a 10th house, she could really do something amazing with her life, because this is a powerhouse of energy. Somebody else or some other people may have not been able to control her or understand her because of all this energy, but this is what she was born with. This is a powerhouse of energy, and she could be a leader if she sees focus it in the right direction. She could really do anything with her life. And so she has her part of fortune, and the part of fortune says that's luck in this house where it lands. This is in small animals. So small animals have given her fortune in her life. They've given her luck and fortune, and just amazing. And this is the house of love affairs. It's also the house of creativity. So it says that in her older, years, and she would have a love affair, she would gain from that. Would be a positive thing. Small animals, she would gain from that. Creativity, any kind of painting, writing, poetry. This is a great outlet for this person. She could have fortune in the house of small animals, creativity, love affairs. So this is very positive. And she has her vertex, and vertex is sort of like the planet of serendipity. And so that's like when we meet somebody unexpectedly. That's why it's in the 7th house of partnerships. So it says she'll meet somebody serendipitously and it will be a strong partnership. This is love affairs, but the seventh house is marriage. This is a commitment. So she will gain a commitment in her life, and she will meet this person like just out of the blue somewhere, and it will be a very positive. It will be like this, God brought me this person. And so that's very positive. And she has Saturn in the eighth house. And so Saturn in the eighth house says that she has suffered with abandonment and death in her life. And she, so they say, this is a house of Scorpio. So they say that Scorpios teach others how to survive. So she knows how to transform herself. She's had to pick herself up more than once through death and abandonment, maybe over and over and over again, but she's learned how to survive. And although it's a difficult placement, it's a positive placement when a person learns how to survive death, abandonment. They learn how to survive these things in life. It's almost like they get very toughened up with these, and they get strong to survive the world. So maybe this is a person who needs to be strong from what they went through when they were young. They went through, so God gave that person this to say, we're going to make you strong. And so Juno is the house of marriage. So Juno says that this person may meet this partner in church. So Juno is in the ninth house of religion, higher learning. And so you could say it could be even higher learning like at a college, higher learning at a school. But this also rules religion. It could be in a house of worship. She will meet her partner. So this is the house of marriage. And so then she's got, she's got her black moon Lilith. Her black moon Lilith is in this ninth house. And the black moon Lilith is, it's a difficult placement that we all get somewhere. They call it like the demon in the chart. And so it says that she here is, she's had her faith tested. And so this says in this placement, it's important for this person to go out and to find her faith, to find her religion, to find the place where she belongs. So it's very important for this person to do that so they can have their faith, so they can, rely on their faith because they've been tested. Their faith, this says their faith has been tested in their life. And so, this is very important for this person to find their religion. And this is a planet of devotion right here, right next to it. So it says that she could have a devotion to religion or to a faith. She has a destiny to have a devotion to religion and a faith. That's inbred inside of her. That's inside of her to be devoted to a faith. And so that's like God put that in her too because of that black moon Lilith, of her faith being tested in her life. So this comes and says, you will be devoted to a faith. This is important to you to have your faith in your life. And so let's go over this again. And so she's got her midheaven in Scorpio, which says that she could have a career in things of life or death matters, or things Scorpio related. When you think about Scorpio related, they say that Scorpios rule like clairvoyance, they rule death, they have psychic abilities and healers, so she could have a very strong gift if she were to start focusing on her psychic abilities and learning how to trust her intuition and maybe even writing in a journal and just noticing the signs and symbols around her. And she could have a career in being a clairvoyant or a funeral director, anything Scorpio related. And so she's got Mars and Scorpio in her career. And this is in the public image. So she could come across as a little straightforward, aggressive to the public, but it's an excellent placement for a career because you need this energy to succeed in a career. And so she has the sun in the 10th house, and so this is a positive placement for career. And Venus says she comes across as charming to the public. This is an auspicious placement. There's a lot of women movie stars that have Venus in the 10th house. All the beautiful ones, they've got Venus in the 10th house. So this is like a very charming person and a beautiful person. And outside she betrays real good looks. and a Mercury in the Scorpio in the 10th house. So she could have a career. Mercury is communication. So she could communicate, learn how to hone her communication skills. And Jupiter in the 10th house. She's got a whole stellium plus 2 planets in the 10th house. That means there'll be a lot of activity for Haley in the 10th house. And Jupiter is the planet of luck. It's arrived in the 10th house. It says that she will have luck in 10th house matters. This is like a guardian angel. We all get luck somewhere in our chart, and she got it in the 10th house. She got 6 planets in the 10th house. That's like a lot of activity in the 6th house. And really, all these planets are good planets. And Mars is the one you need to succeed. So there'll be some career things happening for her. It'll be interesting to see what that is. And Pluto in the 12th house. So Pluto, we all have Pluto somewhere in our chart. And Pluto says we will go through hell to obtain our heaven wherever it lands. So hers has landed in the 12th house. And the 12th, that's a hard placement because the 12th house is the house where we're in our mother's womb. But it's also the house of addictions, mental institutions. It's a house of very strong psychic and empathic ability. But it's a house of sensitivity. And it's like a very strong house. And so this says Haley has gone through hell or will go through hell to obtain her heaven. But it promises that Haley will get to that place of heaven. That she may go through hell or be going through hell, but she will get to her heaven because that it promises that. And so she's overcoming all these things and she will get there. It promises she will get there. And so then she has Ceres. And Ceres says wisdom. Ceres is a planet of wisdom of 12th house matters. So it says Haley may have cried many tears because of this placement of all she went through in her mother's womb. But it says she's gained a lot of wisdom too. She will be a very wise person when she gets older about 12th house matters, addictions, issues, sensitivity, all the empathic abilities that she has, the sensitivities and all that she's been through. She has gained a lot of wisdom. She's an old soul. She's in the process of gaining a lot of wisdom. But she's cried a lot of tears over this. And it's hard because we don't remember when we're in our mother's womb. So those tears she cries are the mystery for her of the sorrow and sadness in her mother's womb. So her rising sign is Capricorn. This is how we come across at first impression to people. Like when we first meet somebody, we don't show them our moon sign, our vulnerable side. We show them our rising sign. So she could come across, Capricorns are, I think, very aloof. And they could come across sort of cold-hearted. So that says she holds her cards very close to her. Oh, let's go. Here, we got this right here. Okay, sorry about that. We got some strange things going on here. Strange things going on here. Okay, so let's see. So we have the east point is Aquarius. So it says that she needs her independence. Aquarius are independent. She will gain her independence in life, Haley will, and she will go off on her own. And they're also, Aquarius are like revolutionaries. So she thinks outside the box, and she's like a cutting edge type of person in her thought process. Maybe even comes across a little eccentric, but the Aquarius is one thing they need is independence. And so let's see what else here. Chiron. So Chiron is in the first house of healing. So she did have a guardian angel in her childhood to help her heal from all she'd been through. A guardian angel came around to help her heal, to say, I'm here for you, I'm stepping up for you. And so Chiron is the guardian angel, and this was trying to help her with all of these things she went through. And so let's see. So Ceres, right here, this is the harvest. So that she will gain a harvest one day from all she went through. And it says Neptune in the first house. It also says that she might have slept a lot as a child and she had a very active dream world. So that helped her survive her her all that she'd been through in her childhood. And here she's got Aquarius in the second house, so she might have gone through some volatile situations when it comes to money. So this says like a very fast change with money, not having money. But right here in the second house, she's got her North Node in the second house. That's her destiny. So that's called an auspicious placement, a lucky placement. So it says she will have money in her life. And it could have to do with finances. Second house matters, but she has a very intuitive feeling about money. She knows how to make money. So she will be successful in that. She has a destiny in that. She's a natural healer. Pisces are natural healers. They have come here to heal others. So she has to get in touch with that. And her moon is in Aries in the third house, which says that the moon rules the maternal line. And so it says these women, the mothers, sisters, aunts, the women in the family, these are independent women. These could be women that, this is like Aries speak their truth. They could be kind of aggressive, but they are always leaders. They're the ones who step in and take leadership roles. So she's definitely a leader, and she may have come across too as a little aggressive, because that's how she expresses her emotions, aggressively. But if it's other people in the family in the maternal line, they probably also vocalize their aggression that way as well, because this rules the maternal line. So if she comes across a little aggressively to the point, but she is also a leader. And this comes from the maternal line. These are women that are leaders in the family. They're meant to be leaders, but they have sort of an aggressive way that they communicate, and she does. And so she's meant to, and with moon in Aries and sun in Scorpio, this is, I can't even begin to communicate what a leader. This is a person who has a powerhouse of energy. And it would take a lot of people to, in the family to try to understand. They may even want to contain her, but this is her destiny. She's got a really powerhouse full of energy. This is a person who would be very good to focus on exercising and putting all that energy into, like, look at that, the career or leadership abilities. And she's got her fortune in the fifth house of small animals. She could be a leader when she gets older when it comes to small animals, helping them. But this is the house of love affairs. This is the house of creativity. Promises fortune for Haley. Small animals, love affairs, creativity. And she has vertex in the seventh house, which promises a serendipitous meeting of another. And seventh house is a house of marriage. She will be married in her life. She will find a partnership, and she will meet that person in a serendipitous way. And Saturn in the eighth house says that she has a lot of abandonment and death in her life. She's learned to overcome them over and over again, and she's learning to be a survivor. She will be the ultimate survivor when she gets old and teach others how to survive. So, and then she has Juno, and Juno is in the ninth house. That's marriage. And so it says she could meet somebody in a church, in a religion, in a faith-filled place. It's also the house of higher learning in a college, but that says that's where she will meet this serendipitous place, the house of God, in any kind of religion she chooses. And then it says this is the planet of devotion. So it's important for her to devote herself to a religion, to a faith, to be devoted to higher learning and learning about God and spirituality and praying, to be devoted in her prayers. And the Black Moon Lilith says that her faith has been tested in her life, so it's very important for her to have her devotion to God, to have her faith and her religion, to follow that, and also to pray always to God, and to realize that she has definitely had her struggles, but she's got such amazing planets, the sun and the moon. These are powerhouse planets of leadership. And this is luck in 10th house matters of career. So if she hangs in there, life is going to give her amazing life. And she just needs to be strong and remember that we all have our placements that, have tested us in our life. And that's part of life. We get I think we learn more as we get older. And it's hard as a young person to go through all this and to learn all these things. And but to know, to promise that this chart promises success. It promises success in life, and it promises one a wonderful life. Hang in there. That's what it says, because you're going to get everything you want in life. Okay, that's Haley's chart. Thank you so much for letting me read you.